And welcome back to the Hot Lap. We are talking Rally Italia, which kicks off this weekend, or the weekend of the, well, kind of starts on the 30th of May, but we'll see the big running on the Friday. That's May the 31st, and all eyes are going to be on this rally event simply because it's going to be a rally event with a difference. It is the 21st running of the Rally Italia, but therefore the 20th anniversary. That is just one of many important things happening this weekend. The organiser, Automobile Club d'Italia, along with the FIA, the governing body's approval, they've developed what they class as a compact schedule. And this is going to be marked by a Friday afternoon start rather than morning, with a reduction in timed kilometres. And what's going to serve, as many believe, as a trial format. This may well be adopted by other events in the future as part of an ongoing measures to further improve the appeal and spectacle of the WRC, while also reducing the financial outlay of competitors and organisers alike. I don't know how you feel about it. Me, I don't know. I want to see how this goes first. I'm fairly mixed. I'm all for a late afternoon start on a Friday, but then I'm also for extending the Sunday. That's how I feel. It feels like a proper motorsport weekend then, doesn't it? Most motorsport happens on the Sunday, as we know. Rally happens all over the weekend, but Sunday seems to be one of the shortest days. And I think it should be the most exciting day because it is the last day of the rally. So I don't really understand. But there we go. Okay, so let's get into the itinerary quickly then, as I'm going to quickly share my screen. This is from the official Rally Italia website, as you can see. All things starting on the Thursday with the recce. We've got Meet the Crews late in the evening at, what is it, if I zoom in, at about 7 o'clock. I think this is going to be Europe time, so plus minus your hours. I think, yeah, so minus 1 hour. I believe they are an hour ahead, aren't they? I think in the UK. So Friday, we've got the shakedown. It's the shakedown, and 1:30. It seems to be like where the rally actually starts, and 5:45 in the morning on Saturday, early start. That's going to be the start of stage 2, and finishing late in the evening with the Meet the Crews at 8:30. And again, we've got an early-ish start, but not as early, 7 o'clock. Is start of stage 3 in the service park on the Sunday. So let's get into the rally driver by driver, shall we? So, Rally Italia. What do we think? Nouvelle? Toyota? Hyundai? Possibly not Ford. I would love an Adrian Formeau to absolutely kill it. I mean, Adrian Formeau, I think, is absolutely killing it. But we'll get into him in a bit. So from Adrian Formeau, let's have a look at all of the other rally drivers, shall we? So bear with me. We're gonna look at the form guide in a sec. And as we know, the European Gravel Rally is completely underway after what we had an action-packed Portugal a few weeks ago, and a quick glance at Rally Portugal suggests that it may well have been a predictable affair, but if you watched it, it was anything but. But it was Sebastian Ogier taking advantage not only of his road position, maybe his experience as well. We had damper conditions on that Friday with Nouvelle offset to, well, he had a kind of like a compromise road position. Will the people that had success in Portugal, minus Calais, who's not here, have the same good fortune in Sardinia? Well, the running order is going to sure play a role, as it always does, but it's a very different rally to the one we watched a few weeks ago. It is going to be, with that shorter edition, about 34 miles shorter than it was last year, but many are still saying it's still one of the most challenging rallies going on. So, let's talk about drivers, and let's talk about the championship leader, as in Thierry Neuville. So let's talk about Thierry. Many people had written him off, I think, come at Rally Portugal, but he had, I think, put his one of the performances to finish what ended up being third, when he so easily could have been a lot lower down the order. And more importantly, he extended that championship lead. He's got a healthy number of points in hand now, 24-point buffer, which is a fairly significant advantage after just 5 rounds in the championship. He's got a good record in Rally Italy Sardinia on his side too. He's won the rally 3 times. He goes into this weekend, I think, potentially as one of the favourites along with somebody else. He would no doubt love to add what would be a 4th victory to his tally. But I think more importantly is maintaining that healthy grip over second place Elvin Evans. I think he's going to be should be considered one of his absolute top priorities. That's the absolute minimum. I think he's going to want to come away with more points against poor old Elvin Evans. And I mean, let's talk about everybody's favourite Welshman in rally at the moment. This is not how I don't think this is how he planned. I mean, yes, his best result in Rally Italy is 2nd, and that was all the way back in 2021. And the last 3 events, he's finished 6th, 2nd, and 4th. However, he's struggling, I think, against Nouveau, where he was my personal championship favourite going in, and I still think he can do it. My faith is wavering just the tiniest bit, and it wasn't at the beginning of Rally Portugal, at least. He overcame the challenge of running first on the road in Portugal. He struggled to get that was Nouvelle, but with Evans, he struggled to get comfortable in his Toyota. His problems were compounded by that puncture on Friday, not to mention his teammate Scott Martin, co-driver, whoopsadating his pace notes, leaving them at the one of the service stages. But despite this difficult result, even Dirtfish are taking positives to Rally Italia Sardinia. So Evans was sure that he'd found what he thinks is an improved setup for the Toyota on that final day in Portugal. And the pre-event test for this weekend was carried out on the island, so he should know what to expect. He also needs to remember that before Portugal, he was, let's be fair, on a fairly good run of form. He may not have won a rally so far this season, which is a concern, but he's been on the podium 3 times. A win here could potentially be a big ask, but I don't think it's possible. But he does need something to kick his championship very much into life again. And talking about kicking championships into life, let's talk about Mr. Tanak. His last 3 results are 2nd, 4th, and 8th. 8th. So and he won the Rally Sardinia in 2017 and 2022. So as you know, we've kind of lambasted on the poor Tanak, and he's had a really difficult start to 2024. However, at the last rally in Portugal, he gave everyone, all of his supporters, a really good reason to be cheerful. He still wasn't that comfortable with the I-20 Rally 1, but the Hyundai driver appeared, he's kind of accepted that he was going to have to make the best of it. And he certainly did, coming away with 26 points, which was more than any other driver. Tanak 2024 has arrived. He's a 2-time winner here, and in his most recent victory with Hyundai was as recent as 2022. His road position isn't ideal. He has passed Adrian Formeau in the championship, so he starts 3rd. But starting in the I-20, when it was still underdeveloped, demonstrates that the Hyundai has a good chance to repeat that result this weekend. Now, the gap to Elvin Evans and the title points is just now 7 points. So there's going to be plenty of motivation to pass Elvin Evans and see what he can do. Can Tanak still be champion? I mean, that's an interesting one, isn't it? I think it's possible. But from someone that can be champion, that's someone that potentially could be champion, but probably not this year, Adrian Formeau, the form guide Ford man. So in the past, I mean, the last rally results were, I think, 4th, 17th and 3rd. His best Italy result, it was in 2021, which was 30th. Shock horror. So it's fair to say that this rally's not been particularly kind to him. Last time he was in top machinery, let's say, on the island, he crashed out of the rally, only to suffer the same fate when he returned in 2023. However, this is a different Adrian Formeau 2.0, and the M Sport driver has, so far this year, looked absolutely more measured, absolutely more mature. Now, a mistake on the final day of Croatia was kind of a blip, because that was not the Adrian Formeau that we know to be. That was the Adrian Formeau of old. But his performances, other than that, have been really solid. A solid 4th place in Portugal was another demonstration of how much this guy has matured. He may have slipped behind Tanak in the championship standings, but he will at least benefit from not having to sweep the road quite so much on that loose gravel from the road this weekend. And perhaps the most important target, Dirtfish is saying, is to keep the Puma in one piece and to lay rest the Ghosts, finish the rally and finish good. So yeah, the form guide, brilliant. Next up then, we have everybody's favourite Japanese Toyota driver. Yes, it's a Katsuta. So his last 3 results, sadly 29th, but 5th and 2nd. It's fair to say Rally Portugal was kind of like a mixed result. On Friday, he looked like the foreman. He was leading the rally. However, by Saturday afternoon, an impact with a Stonewall Classic. Unfortunately, it was Classic Taka struck again. Really fast speed with those sizable mistakes creeping in. Now, rally winning pace. He has it. We saw in Sweden before the mistake. He has it. We saw on Friday in Portugal. He has it. He can do it. But he needs to demonstrate that all the way through and be consistent the weekend. He finished 4th at this rally back in 2021 and followed that with a 6th in 2022. Sadly, mechanical failures last year. But as usual, there are flashes of speed. This weekend could be another opportunity to finally finish the job. Could he win it? Absolutely he could win it. Will he win it? I have absolutely no idea whether he will. I wouldn't say he's the bookie's favourite, but I don't think you could ever rule him out. But I always think when he's in the lead, and we go on board with him when I'm watching the Rally TV Plus. Yeah, let's just say he's one of the reasons that my fingernails are so short. It's always stressful watching him because you've no idea what's going to happen next. So, from quite a young guy to a slightly more veteran, yes, Sebastian Ogier. So he is on a roll. His last 3 results, first, and 2nd, and he's on a roll in a good way. His best rally result in Italy here was 1st in 2013, 2014, 2015 and 2021. So would you bet against him? You have to wonder, his form is so good now. Should Toyota have convinced him to come back full time for yet another World Championship? Potentially so. This guy's still got it. What's more, he's fifth on the road for Friday, and for years he came to this event ready to accept his fate as the road sweeper. However, not this time, sadly for his competitors. Providing the weather stays dry, we think he's going to be absolutely brilliant. Right now, 2 drivers sit at the top of the table when it comes to wins, and that's the 2 Sebastians, Ogier and Loeb. They're 4 all. It's the fight for 5 for Ogier. Can he do it? Fingers crossed. Hopefully he can. We also have Danny Sordo, who showed really good form last time out, which I think he could do quite well. And he's like the guest starring in the Hyundai. And in the other Ford, we have Gregor Monster. So there's a major Dirtfish.com is saying that there's a major contest between the 2 sides of M Sport right now. In one corner, we've got Adrian Formeau on the ascendancy, and the other we have Munster, who's yet to get in kind of any groove at the moment for the WRC 2024 Championship. Sadly, we should of course remember he is still learning. He finished 7th in WRC 2 last time out in Italia last year. And to be fair, that was his first attempt at the rally, so it wasn't too bad. But this year's going to be about continuing that form. However, you can't learn from the side of the road. He's going to have to push. Well, there we go. And that's pretty much your main rally, people. Obviously, we've got WRC 2 but I believe the junior WRC drivers are going to be there as well. We also will be there. Stay tuned. This has been the Hot Lap. This has been our rally preview. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give us a like, give us a subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. Other than that, we will speak to you soon. Stay tuned over the weekend. I imagine we'll have at least one rally video. Thank you very much.